Welcome to LMR Live, an innovative talk show brought to you from the University of Mississippi by your host, Nancy Mariah Balach, and a dream team of students who produce this show. We hope you are ready to experience education and entertainment, and what do we call it? Edutainment! This is our 6th season. It is flying by. So thrilled to be here in Nutt Auditorium in the music building. So, our last episode, we celebrated our 20th time at this rodeo, and it was so much fun. But so many of your questions that came in were not answered. So be on the lookout for an Inside LMR coming up, where I promise we're going to answer all those wonderful questions that came in during that episode. We remain committed to you, those in the house and those at home. We want to give you the opportunity to interact with acclaimed artists who come to Oxford from other locations, and also to lift up and showcase Mississippi artists. So we want to hear from you. Tweet at LiveMuseRes. Chat in that YouTube feature. Be part of the music revolution. This month is big here in Oxford. It's big because of the Sarah Isom Center putting on Sarahfest 2018. Yes? And it is an absolute privilege to be collaborating with them. A special thank you to Teresa Starkey, to Kevin Cozart for reaching out the invitation for the Living Music Resource to partner with you on such an incredible festival that showcases artists and really advocates for a sense of community and growth. So thank you to the Sarah Isom Center. So tonight, who are we going to talk with? We are talking with someone named Effie Burt. Who is Effie Burt? Let me tell you a little bit. She is a lifelong vocalist. She has been performing since the age of 13 with her family at churches and local musical events in Mississippi and Tennessee. An international artist, Ms. Burt has graced the stages from Beale Street to Montego Bay, Jamaica. I want to go there. Although jazz is her first love, Effie is just as engaging belting out R&B, soothing with the blues, and bringing it home with gospel. She has been a headliner for the International Jazz Festival in Jamaica, and she has performed for political dignitaries such as Bill Clinton and Barack Obama. She is also a composer. Ms. Burt, she wrote the song, "I'll Make a World in Iowa." This song was named the second official song, state song, for Iowa in 2006. I'm going to confirm that in a moment, that date, but it is the second official song for that state. Help me welcome my friend and my sister, Effie Burt.
Hello. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
So Effie, you know, I've admired you from afar. I'm embarrassed that really our first time really sitting down and talking was this past weekend, but I really meant what I said. You're my new dear, dear friend, and I consider you a sister. So
thank you. Same here.
See, oh, I'm getting goosebumps. All right, so I want to start at the very beginning with you.
Okay.
So the very beginning. Tell us what, I'm going to toss out a question from a student. This is from Haley. When you were growing up in Oxford, it is different than the way it is now. In what ways do you think Oxford has changed?
Okay, first of all, I lived in the country, like 13 miles down that way. And near Taylor, I know you've heard of Taylor Fish Place. Well, I lived close to that area, and I lived on a farm, 130 acres of land, so I'm a farm girl. But we really rarely ever came to Oxford, except to a little store called Jitney Jungle, which was a grocery store located on South Lamar. And we actually, as an African-American person, I wasn't really welcome here on the square, as it is now for so many of people of color, which is absolutely great. And so it's changed with the young people, the young faces, that's so welcoming, much more than what it was before. So returning back to Oxford is truly amazing, and I am so happy to be home again.
Well, we're glad you make Oxford your home. So you grew up more in Lafayette County.
Yes.
And you're on this farm, and whose land was it?
It was our land.
It belonged to your
It belongs to
your
my father.
father.
Yes. Which
And-
was absolutely wonderful to live on your own land because, okay, I have to tell my age, I'm 64. And back.
She's 64. Does she not make 64 seem spectacular? And I'm not just talking about this. I'm talking about this and this, the whole shebang.
So, we lived on our own land, so that meant for us that we went to school every day. But for people who lived, were sharecroppers, they did not get to go to school every day. They only went to school when it rained because they had to take care of the farm, the cotton, and really they missed half of school.
Man,
So it was very important to have your own land.
I say this in my own household too. Oftentimes kids don't want to go to school, and I want to stress the fact that it's such a privilege to get to go to school.
Right.
Get to have that opportunity. So how was school for you, Effie?
Okay. I had a wonderful father who took me to school every day. I was dismissed on a regular basis. But it was not my fault. I was only standing up for what I believe in, and that's what you should do. When you believe in something, you should stand up for it, and that's what I did. Okay, I was labeled the troublemaker, but I never could understand it because whenever there was trouble, they came to get me. Right. And to take care of trouble. So I redefined myself as a leader, somebody who's going to take care of the trouble if need be.
I love that. In my honors class, we're talking about labels, right, folks? Labels, yes. So this label of being a troublemaker and the idea of how you turned it into, okay, fine, there's the label, but I'm gonna redefine it as a leader. Would you share the story about your hair?
Yes,
Please?
that's why I still like the afro kind of look. We could not wear afros back in high school. We were told that the afro, you couldn't see the bulletin board, right? So because my name was B, everybody behind me couldn't see the bulletin board, supposedly. And so we could not wear afros. So my mother decided to buy a long blonde wig, and she didn't make me wear it. I was happy to wear it. And every day I just caused so much trouble with my hair. And sooner or later, the principal say, if you just take that wig off, you can wear your afros. I was okay.
Okay, if you insist. Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it. So what is your earliest musical recollection and experience? Where did that occur?
At church. Mm-hmm. I don't know anybody who haven't grown up in church and start singing gospel music. I had sisters and brothers, and we sang in church every Sunday, often. So that's really where it started for music for me.
Got it. So Carly has the question, how did growing up singing gospel music influence your personal musical style and your relationship with other genres like R&B and jazz?
Well, jazz came much later, but with Aretha Franklin being my someone who I really admire her music, and I saw that she did gospel music, and she was able to do other music as well. And I thought, well, that's a good thing. My father did stress to us that if we should never sing any music, that we couldn't sing the words to him. So that would cut out a lot of music today, right?
Right. Well, no, I have this discussion with my children because they'll tell me, there are no bad words in the song, Mom. And I'm like, right, but when you put them side by side in context, the story is not so hot, right? Yeah. So we're going to start applying the Effie Burt philosophy at home. All right. So making sure those words could be shared with him.
Right.
And your father was a huge, sounds like an amazing man. I mean, he was really your rock.
He really was, because I got expelled from school so much until he just made it his mission to make sure that I learned a lot about people. He even insisted that I go visit a white family in Wisconsin, because it was such a race relation problem there in Lafayette High School. He wanted to show me that all white people were not the same, and you have to deal with people on an individual basis, and not because they happen to be a certain color. And that was very important to me, because from my viewpoint, every white person around me was not very nice to me, except Kathy Baxter. I wish I could find her today. She moved into our school, and she was a white girl from Texas, and she was really actually the first white friend that I ever had.
Wow. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, you were the first graduating class from Lafayette that was integrated.
Yes, 1972.
Wow. Wow. Caitlin wants to know, who would you say influences the music that you choose to produce? Or that you record or you perform?
I would say I would influence, it would be because of things that I've heard that makes me that makes me respect others. So I would never sing a song that would be disrespectful for someone else. So I'm gonna make sure that song is not a blues. If it's a blues song, I'm gonna make sure it doesn't give me the blues. So at the end of the day, I don't want to still be kicking the dog. You know, I want to be, the dog is happy and I'm happy. So I actually am influenced by the words and how it's going to make me feel at the end of the song.
Beautiful, beautiful. So Megan wants to know, what made you start singing, and when did you decide to use your talent as a way to speak out against what you believed was wrong?
Well, you know, I always was in church singing, but as an adult, when I got arrested once, I think that was it. I needed a song about making me a whirl in Iowa in spite of all the things that were going on. And I felt that I was arrested, and it was for profiling. Mm-hmm. So I felt that was wrong, so I decided to write this song.
And can I interject?
Yes.
You were profiled, and the officer was out of their jurisdiction
Yes.
when they were making this. So it was, in addition to being profiled, it was definitely targeting also. And can I share that when they took Effie, correct me if I'm saying this wrong, but when they took Effie to the jailhouse, that all the police officers knew her from town. They're like, what's Effie doing here? Why did you bring in Effie? What are you doing with Effie? So,
yeah.
yes.
And so that was I felt that I would make me a whirl in Iowa, regardless of anything else that was going on, because I've never been arrested before. And if you've never been arrested, do you know that in the back of the police car, there's a hard seat. It's not a cushion, and it smells not great, and you go to jail and there's nowhere to wash your hands, and and people watch you, and it was not a good experience. And
the officer was rough with you also.
Very rough.
And what did you do in response? Say what you did.
I sung Amazing Grace to her because I needed to save a wretch like me.
So you enlightened her. Was she responsive to Amazing Grace?
She said, "Be quiet."
Did you keep singing?
Of course.
I love it. I love it. So let's talk a little bit about this, the Iowa song and all of that. So your father was an entrepreneur.
Yes.
And I look at you and I see entrepreneur. So the opportunity, you're asked to be part of the Iowa Festival. Can you share with everyone what that is?
Actually, I wasn't asked to be. I wanted to be. So I decided the way I was going to be was to write the song.
Entrepreneur.
And once I wrote the song and shared it with them, and yeah, I love that song. And so every year they're going to have this festival that I get to come with all the stars. There's stars that come to attend the festival every year. So I get to hang out with the stars with one little song.
And then how did it come to be that it became the second state song for Iowa?
Well, Senator Harkin heard the song, and he asked me to perform it for then Senator Barack Obama. And I performed the song for him, and that was the time he, that was the Pledge of Allegiance thing. And after that, they said, hey, this song should be our state song.
And when it went before to be voted on this,
they said that the only thing that the Republicans and Democrats agreed on that year was that my song should be the state song.
Yay! Music brings us together. So let's fast forward a bit. So you're working in other fields, and you start going. You realize you could start making some money with your singing, right?
Right. I really needed to make money too. Now, of course, I worked at John Deere, and I had a daughter in college. She was needing a car. So I decided to do karaoke to supplement my income. And actually, you could win like $500, so I okay, where's the karaoke show tonight? And okay, by the end of the week, I would, have a couple $1,000.
I'm not surprised.
And so after a while, I stopped going to the karaoke show like, oh God, there's Effie, so they let me be a judge.
I don't stand a chance.
They could have if they had wanted to, but that was their mindset that
Right.
they couldn't.
They labeled themselves.
Exactly. I could have had a bad night. So after a while, they let me be a judge. So I decided one night singing, Bill Davis heard me sing, and he needed somebody to sing jazz. I didn't know jazz, summertime maybe. And he asked me, and I started singing jazz with the group, and that's really how I got involved in jazz.
So how did you learn that jazz music? I mean, what did you do? You just got on the internet, right? And you found
No.
all the songs, and
No internet.
you slept with your head on the book. How did you learn it?
No, actually, you had to go to the library and get cassette tapes. Do you know
You
anything
had to
about
literally
that?
walk
Yeah.
to the library,
And-
literally check out the
Yeah,
tapes, yes,
tapes,
and return them.
right.
Yeah.
And I had to sit at a gate on my job, and I used the earphones and listened to the music morning, noon, and night for that weekend. I only had 3 days to learn a bunch of jazz tunes and.
So get the efficiency here. She's working a job.
Oh yeah, I did
where
say that, didn't I?
No, and I think this is important though, because I want the students to hear this, because I've told students before, when they're looking for a job, I think working at the library is a great place to get a job, because it gives you the opportunity to potentially study while you're there, right? As opposed to like bebopping around. So I think it was very efficient on your part. You have this job, you have a little downtime. I'm going to utilize this time to make it possible for me to do this other thing, as opposed to holding up, oh, it's not the right time. How will I find the time? I have to wait. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. So you buckled down, learned all these tunes.
Yes.
And what happened?
And jazz was on then. I started learning a lot of Nina Simone, Ella Fitzgerald. I started being in plays, and it was just wonderful, and making money.
Yep. And she made it happen. It wasn't someone else enabling it. Effie made it happen, which I think is something that's so important we have to remember. So let's fast forward again. So you're in Oxford, and you're collaborating, and there's some drummer that had heard you in Jamaica. Who was that drummer that had heard you in Jamaica and you started collaborating with?
Actually, he was a keyboard.
Oh, his keyboard. Ricky Burkhead was keyboard?
No, Garnett.
Oh, sorry. I'm skipping to Professor Burkhead here, but.
Well, actually, you know how I met him. Somebody told me about this guy that would let me maybe come up and be involved with, and I'm like, I don't know somebody named Burkhead. Who could that be? And that's when I met Ricky.
Well, let's call Ricky out and talk about some of your stuff going on in here. Help me welcome one of my colleagues here at the University of Mississippi, a fantastic musician and colleague, Ricky Burkhead. We meet again on an LMR Live. This is the annual incorporation of Professor Burkhead in LMR Live. Last year it was Sade. This year it's Effie. We'll talk later what it's going to be next year. Okay? We'll keep adding on.
Sure.
So you tell me what it was like when you first met Miss Effie Burt.
Well, the first time I saw her, she came into the band hall. We had a steel band rehearsal, and someone had told about me. And so she walked over, and we met, and we set up some times to play together. I think you sang with the steel drum band for a concert that we had in the band hall.
Yes.
Yeah, and that was the first time we sang together or worked together. And then after that, we started setting up some jazz gigs, and eventually we got into the soul and the R&B with our present group, the Soul Tones.
Because you guys have an established group now, the Soul Tones, and you guys play all over.
We do. We mostly do weddings and special events. We do some things for the university.
So if you're looking for a group, Soul Tones, what's the website?
It's thesoultones.com.
Soultones.com, check it out. So the first time, correct me if I'm wrong, the first time Ricky actually heard you though, wasn't that elsewhere or no?
I think it was in the band room or...
It was really here? I don't know why I had in my head it was some other locale.
Yeah, she sang for me that day. We went to Jamaica together, but that was like 2 years later.
2 years later.
Yeah.
Got it. So what's your favorite music to do together?
R&B.
R&B?
Yeah, I love jazz. Actually, anything that Ricky does, I can find a beat to it. It's good. So, but I really love R&B and jazz. I love gospel. I love country. I love all music. I just can't pick and choose like that.
No, and that's important to say because part of the mission with LMR and this thought process is good music is good music. Let's stop being divisive about it, prescriptive about it, and let's just appreciate what each other is doing and learn from one another. Right. So I have a question for both of you. I'd like to know from both of you. This is actually Emma's question, but where is your favorite place that you have ever performed and why?
You answer first.
I was hoping you would. You mean us together or just?
No, separate.
Okay.
Separate or together, just as yourself. Where would that be and why?
So in 2013, we had a performance down at the Hard Rock Cafe and Casino in Biloxi. And it was for all the Japanese automakers who were doing something in the southeastern region. And the governor was there and a lot of important people. And we opened for Marty Stewart.
Nice.
It was a great, yeah.
Neat.
Mm-hmm.
How about you, Effie?
I would say in Jamaica for the International Jazz Festival, I had the opportunity to perform for Sonny Breshaw, and he was a legendary there. And that was the first time I felt accepted as a jazz artist.
Interesting. Great. Jesse from the band has a question, and either or both of you. What advice would you give another young entrepreneurial musician who is trying to get started? Jesse back there wants to know. He's a go-getter. We know that, right?
Yeah. I'll say.
Let me say, he just won the concerto competition here. Put this whole band together. The kid is on fire. So what advice do you have for him?
Yeah, so it needs to be something that you love doing and that you're doing it because you like doing it, not just to please somebody else because you're going to be stuck with it.
That's right.
And then find a niche in the market. Like today's market is so unique, you can find something that nobody else is doing. And because of the internet, you can be broadcast to everybody in the world, as many as would see it, and be successful at it.
Mm-hmm. What do you think, Effie?
I say also that you must love what you do because, you know, living in Iowa, I remember once I was like, okay, I got to go to this jazz to sing. And do you see what the weather is like out? Yeah, but I'm going to go sing. And so it's important that you really love it so much until you're willing to go out in the cold.
No matter what the circumstances, you're willing to do it.
You're willing to do it.
Any other question there, Jesse? No, it's good, awesome. All right, Joshua would like to know, what was the biggest setback in your life as a musician, and what did you do to overcome it or let it go in some way?
For me?
Either.
Well, I've had a good life, so I don't have any setbacks. I've done everything that I wanted to do.
Okay. All right. Good for you, Ricky. Let's have coffee. You can enlighten me. All right.
Okay.
Well, I will not look at it as a setback, but a blessing. I moved to Mississippi because of my mother, who is now 99 years old. I had the opportunity to travel to Europe to do jazz, but once I had that opportunity, then this came. I won't call her a setback, but
Right.
a blessing that I was able to come back in 2007 to help take care of her, and she's 99 years old and still going. And so the other blessing part was,
Yeah. And I think that's an important thing. I believe this wholeheartedly. It's the people you surround yourself with that make the journey worthwhile.
Yeah.
You know, and we get to choose that. We really do. Who you want to collaborate with, who you want to spend your time with. And I also believe that person then is a reflection of you also. So, yeah. Trying to think if I have anything else for you, Ricky. Anything you want to add about Miss Effie Burt?
Yeah, I consider Effie to be one of the greatest voices of our time. Usually if you have a person that's close to you, they're just a person that you know and they're local, people away from this area would appreciate her more, but I've grown to understand that she's one of the greatest voices that I've heard, bar none.
Wow. And that means a lot coming from Ricky Burkett.
absolutely, because you know, do you guys know him? You know, Ricky is this guy who is he's like a brother to me, a younger brother, by the way. And he is never mean, he's never mad, but he means what he says when he says it, and you know it. So I do appreciate knowing him and definitely appreciate being involved with music. And he's brought me a long way.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us, Ricky. I appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
So I want to get into, a lot of students have made comments about the political bent in some of your music.
Yes.
And specifically want to talk about your music video that you submitted to the Oxford Film Festival last year, and just talk about what inspired you to write that piece and put that out there.
Okay. Well,
And let me say, the title is God Bless America.
Yes. You know, for a long time, I was watching black men being gunned down, unarmed black men, and it was so hurtful to me. And during the time of this new president, with all the things that I've gone through all my life as African American, and the racial profiling and everything that I've gone through, once he became president, I actually felt I was attacked verbally at Dollar General. Now, you know, if you got to go to Dollar General and I'm in Dollar General, you should be attacking me because we're both at Dollar General.
Both General. Right.
Okay. Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Right.
And so I felt that I was being pushed back in time, and I'm not going back. Simple as that. And every day, when I would hear, I would say, oh, God bless America. Oh, what are we going to do? God bless America. What are we going to do? And I had to say that because my pastor like, Effie, cool down, cool down. And I was just up in arms. My friend Evelyn over here like, Effie, let's pray. Oh, you know, it was very hard for me. And so I start thinking about, you're no good, you're a liar, you say you cheat. America knows why, Russia lied on Hillary to help you become president. I ain't never seen a president with thin skin, tweeting lies like you. God bless America, what are we gonna do? And so, with me, every day that would fill me instead of make me mad. Because I know God will take care of everything. And I have stopped stressing out about it. And so I just ask God to bless America. And we've got to fight. We've got to stand up for our rights. You know, we got to vote against, voter suppression. We just got to stand up and speak and tell people what's on your heart and vote.
And vote, yes, yes. So along those lines, Renee has a question. This is long, but I think it's great. If I could ask Effie one question, I would ask her what we can do as ordinary citizens to impact the political climate and create a change when it comes to issues that do not directly affect us. Because of the numerous instances of racial discrimination within the country, ranging from casual use of racial slurs all the way to major injustices like police brutality against Black Americans. It is obviously extremely important that white people and others not directly affected by discrimination stand up for those impacted. However, while it is easy to say that, I am not always sure what I can do to make an actual difference. On a smaller scale, I am aware that I can stand up for those around me who are discriminated against, and I can remind those around me who use racial slurs that their behavior is unacceptable, but impacting society on a national scale is a much grander task. By asking Effie this question, I would hope that she could give advice to those with more privilege on how to stand up for minorities and create a bigger impact beyond the scope of the small community around us.
I think she answered the question, didn't she?
Renee's here. Where's Renee? Renee, I've embarrassed Renee. But I think what she wrote is written.
Yeah. What I also think is, if people would just treat everybody right. For instance, I was going into a store. I saw an old lady. I didn't know if she was Republican, if she was a Democrat. I didn't know. It doesn't matter. She needed the door to be open. It doesn't matter. And I think if people would just look into their hearts and just love people for who they are and not judge others, I think the world would be a better place. Politically, I don't know how you can, if you believe something without facts, you can't help a person. If you believe something and there's no facts there, how can you help that person? So I don't know how you help somebody like that. What can you do for them?
But even the token, though, of opening the door.
Yeah.
I mean, it's showing, it's demonstrating what you're putting out is what you hope to get back. And I think a specific way to potentially answer this, and I want to bridge into the work you're doing on the lynching project and with the William Winter Institute and what's going on here in Lafayette County. Will you share some of that project?
Okay. Well, in 1935, there was Elwood Hickenbottom, who lived here in the county, and he had a dispute with a white neighbor over land. His name was, I think, Roberts. And Mr. Roberts went to Hickenbottom's house to tell him that that's his land. There was a dispute. Well, there was a gun involved. Mr. Roberts was killed by the black man, Mr. Hickenbottom. Mr. Hickenbottom family was brutally beat, and Mr. Hickenbottom left town. But he was found later, brought back to this town, and put in jail. And that night, or sometimes doing, 150 white men broke him out of the jail and hung him at the corner of Molly Bar and South Lamar, and that's where
And we
the
all know where that
memorial would
is,
be.
yes?
Yeah, and so so the Lafayette County Lynching Committee is going to be having this event on Saturday to memorialize
This coming
it.
Saturday, October 27th.
At 2
At 2
o'clock.
o'clock, community-wide.
Yeah.
And being spearheaded by April Grayson.
Right.
Correct? And she's the director of the community building for the William Winter Institute for Racial Reconciliation. And if you want to read specifically about this, there's a really good article from the New York Times, April 2018, entitled A Lynching's Long Shadow. And it really goes into this story in detail. But the thing that I admire so much about the work that April's doing and you helping her with this event is that you're moving us forward.
Absolutely.
You're creating a conversation about reconciliation,
Forgiveness.
forgiveness,
Healing.
forgive me, and love.
Right.
And so it's not that she's just talking about it in theory. She is doing something. And I believe that something we can do is show up.
Exactly. And there will be food.
Is show up. And I spoke with April Grayson on the phone today, and she said how excited the Higginbotham family is.
About 60 of the family members will be coming from Ohio, Memphis, and surrounding areas.
To come, and there will be, how would you describe what this event is going to be on Saturday for those who are just hearing about this for the first time?
I actually would look at it as a proper burial for Mr. Hickenbottom.
That every person deserves.
And you have your choir, 50 members of your gospel choir will be singing there. I'm going to sing a song, Strange Fruit. I've never wanted to ever sing that song, and it's such a dark song, but I will feel honored to sing it for this occasion.
So I hope you will look into this. I will hope if you would like to make a donation, I believe it's Oxford University Bank.
Yes.
They are accepting donations. You can just go to the drive-through and you can drop off.
For Martha Scott.
For Martha Scott.
There
Just
she
go
is
to the
right there, as a
drive-thru.
matter of fact.
All right, Martha. So you just go to the drive-through, you give a check, whatever. Doesn't matter what it is, but you donate and you say it's for that, and then come on Saturday.
Yes.
And be part of history in the
History.
sense of moving forward and being unified in a sense of community. And the fact that music is going to be a powerful part of this experience.
Absolutely.
So a song that you've talked about is If You Can Help Somebody.
Yeah.
What does that song mean to you, Effie?
You know, it actually means if you can help somebody. Seriously.
Yes? What do I keep saying? I keep saying the song's called If You Can Love Somebody. Because when I think of Effie, I just think of love. I see a heart, and it's just love. So I keep referring to the song as If You Love Somebody, but...
So, if I can help somebody as I travel along, if I could cheer somebody with a word or a song, if I could tell somebody that the road they're traveling is wrong, then my living shall not be in vain. Thank you. Thank you.
Beautiful, Effie.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Gosh, all right. I want to go to a question from Caitlin. You are a woman who has faced some adversity in your lifetime. What advice would you give to a young person today that faces adversity either financially, professionally, or socially?
I would tell them to know exactly what they wanted to do and just go do it.
You got that? That's right.
I mean, there's so many obstacles that could be in your way if you let them be. But there's so many you can kick out of the way if you just do it.
Got it. Do you feel that it is your job as a woman in a position of power to share your views and fight for what is right?
Absolutely.
That's from Hannah.
Yes.
Yes.
I feel that's everybody right. Everybody should fight for their rights. And if you're not fighting, you know, sometimes if I do something, I might not need it. But if somebody else needs it, I will fight just as hard for them as I would for me.
Because right is right.
Exactly.
Yes. All right. I'm going to lighten things up a little bit here. We'll get back to some hardcore stuff in a moment, but we always play a game on LMR Live. I'm not sensing your enthusiasm at this moment, Effie, but we're doing it anyways. So we're going to play a game here in a moment. We're calling it R&B with Effie Burt, but it's really our version, LMR version of lip sync charades. So in a moment here, we're going to pair up. We're going to have Effie with Ben, and Austin is going to be with me. We're going to go head to head, and I think we're going to have a little fun with this. So let us transition to our game with our video. We are back, and we are getting situated into our game here. Let me introduce here Ben. Everyone say hi, Ben. And we have Austin back there. They are very brave souls partaking in this game because Effie and I, we are wild cards, and you just got to watch out. Right, Effie?
Right.
All right, we are wild cards. So Miss Effie's going to put on the headphones. I'm going to be playing, make sure you can hear the ocean sounds. Is this coming through? Mm-hmm. Can you hear me? Good, good. Okay. That's what we want. All right. Ben, you are going to pick a card. Going to go with number 4.
Stop! In the name of love!
All right. Woo! All right. I'll take the headphones. She got that. She got that. All right. Have you two come on up behind here, and I'm giving, right? All right. Oh, they got one. All right. I'm a little nervous. All right. I have a history of not being so great at the games during this show. So I'm going to try to redeem myself. I'm going to go with number 3. Okay. Okay. I'm ready, Jesse. Oh, gosh. I don't know the words.
This goes something.
Help me!
Eye of the tiger. Say it loud. I don't know. I feel really. I don't know.
That's all right. Did he say it?
Yeah.
terrible with all those little words. I need like my karaoke list. All right, staying alive.
Staying alive.
I didn't. My boogie wasn't good enough. It's all good. All right. It's more fun when you don't get it, right? It's more fun. All right, I'm going with that. I like that wah wah. I was off. All right. I'll try to do better next time, partner. Oh, it's just on the back.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Oh, what number?
Oh.
1. Our DJ is queuing it up. Start guessing, Ben. Guess.
Pain of the most. Pain must. Pain of the light. Pain of the light.
Are blue.
I want you to move.
My heart was wrapped all up in clover. The night I looked at you.
We stand a chance. We stand a chance. All right.
Okay.
All right.
At last.
So I think it's safe to say the people over here really can't hear when it's happening, so it's fair.
Well,
You can hear the music.
Oh
That's
gosh.
not-
Oh, it's not ocean sounds anymore.
oh,
Okay, all right.
no. That was
That's all
hard.
right. All right, let's go. We're gonna go again.
Having to think of two things at once.
Yeah, I know.
All right, it's good. It's good. We're not supposed to be able to hear. All right, so I'm gonna swap you. You don't need a mic yet. All right, here we go. We stand a chance.
Yeah, that was what it was, the other music.
Yeah.
Boogie! Get it! All right, I'm dancing. Yeah. My baby, my life. Once, go. Before I leave, no. Once. Leave. I don't know the words. You this. Okay. Woo, 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 woo! R-E-S-P-E-C-T! Woo! All right. Okay, wait, they have to go again, because right now it's 1-1. They have another round.
Okay.
Right? Or no, did we tie?
We're tied.
Right.
Oh, we're tied. Okay, we're tied. So here's what we're going to do. Effie, would you like to play for the win, or would you like to have us play for the win? So if you play and you get it, you win. If you play and you don't, then we win. Does
I'll
that make
play.
sense? There, she's going to play. Let's do it. Which way?
I'll do the.
Okay, you're a guest.
Oh, no, you do it.
All right, I don't want to wish ill will on anyone, but I'm hoping you don't get it, just for the record. All right. Okay.
twisting shop. Do the twist, baby. Twist, is that it? Woo! We won.
So if I have to lose to anybody, I'm okay losing to you, Effie.
Thank you.
All right, we have a winner. Thank you, Ben.
Thanks again.
All right, I want to dive into this cup. These are questions that just happened today, tonight. I want to see what some of them are. Good one. Do you ever struggle with performance anxiety? If so, what are some tips for combating it?
Okay, as long as the band got their part, I'm going to have my part. And the way I combat that is make sure I have my part.
Got it.
And make sure that I know everything that's going on. Right, Ricky?
Yeah, preparation is key,
Yeah,
right?
Right.
Even back to that first time you were getting up doing all that jazz music that you had never done before, you were able to go into there confidently because you were prepared.
We never had rehearsal like we don't, right, Mr. Burkhead? Right.
Go and
So
do.
you need to rehearse at home and practice what you learn at the show, right, Mr. Burkhead?
No, but that's, in academia, we often give young people this false sense of what the reality is, where you rehearse every day for a whole semester for one performance. That does not happen in the real world because you can't afford to do that. So you want to make sure that you're learning how to learn the music on your own. You're getting all the skills that you can to empower yourself so you can go do the gig. All right. Ooh. What has been your best, but more importantly, worst experience as a performer?
My worst experience as a performer was when I was performing and the band and I were not on the same key. That was not his band, of course.
Disclaimer.
But it was actually because they played it on purpose on the wrong key. And I remember I had to make lemonade out of the lemons. So I had to sing something in another key, and once I started singing it so high, it ended up being a rock song because it was not on purposely the right key.
Got it. Got it. When you have an idea for a new composition, what is the first thing you do?
I would see how it's going to work for everything else that I'm going to be doing. Will it fit in? Can I get it done at a timely manner, or is it something that's going to stop me from doing other things that I really want to do?
Got it. Got it. Oh, so more specific on the favorites. Favorite performance venue? Which space do you really enjoy?
Here, or I guess one of the places that I enjoyed most was singing for President Obama, or then Senator Obama, because it was 12,000 people. That was exciting.
Wow. 12,000 people.
Yes.
Man. Let me see. What are the key differences you find between gospel, jazz, and R&B?
Actually, I don't find so much of a difference because all of the lyrics that I'm going to use are going to be loving words, and so I don't see so much different. There's blues originated from gospel, or gospel originated from blues, but they're close together until all the music is pretty much the...
And in observing you perform, because I have watched you perform, Effie puts Effie's spin on it. And I think that that's key, that whatever you're going to do is true and pure to what is you and not becoming a duplicate or a fake of someone else.
Right.
And I think that, to me, that would be how you're able to just go between. Someone wants to know, can you share vocal techniques that you may use?
No, because I never do it the same way, and it depends on how I feel that day. I can't tell you what to do. It has to do with me, and I didn't learn it from anywhere. It was a talent, God-gifted talent, and it's very hard to try to tell somebody, do this, do it that way, because it doesn't work that way.
Got it. So on Friday night, hoping my Oxford folks are going to come back and spread the word, because Friday night in the band hall, you are giving a concert, Effie Burt and friends. But I want to just make this very clear. If you're in Music 100 or you're in Music 103, this is not going to be your typical experience. I want you to come prepared. You're going to come and you're going to be able to partake of some wonderful cuisine that Kevin Cozart has made sure is going to be there. And bring your dancing shoes, because we're going to get up and bust a move while enjoying this music with Effie Burt and friends. Who is excited about this? I'm sorry, all my viewers in Ohio, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, and abroad, but we'll post something, and you just got to get yourselves here, all right? Or you need to get Miss Effie Burt to come to you. All right. I want to wrap things up, and I want to do some thank yous. I want to thank the Sarah Isom Center for Women and Gender Studies and their incredible staff. I want to thank the Yakima Patapsco Arts Council, the University of Mississippi Music Department, the Inn at Ole Miss, the incredible administration at this university, and the dream team of students who you don't see but make all the magic happen. And those students are Carly, our lead camera operator, social media coordinator, Ava, live stream technician, Haley, sound technician, Caitlin, visual coordinator, and Jesse, our duly noted music director, and all of the other folks. Give them a round. Has grown so much, and we need to expand financially in order to keep providing the high quality entertainment that we do. We are launching a University of Mississippi Ignite campaign on November 1st. Our goal is $10,000. I feel that's too low. I have faith in all of you out there that we're going to hit it out of the ballpark. Personal goal, all 50 states be represented, and we double that 10, but that's just a personal goal. Why this? In addition to raising money, we're also creating a network with our music alumni. And I want to be clear, the money does not go to me. All of the work, I wish it did, doesn't. All of the work that I do with the Living Music Resource is in addition to my university job. It is a choice that I make because I believe in it. So none of that money goes to me. Big addition to our team is our executive managing director, Brady Bramlett, who is bringing so much to our team. And I want to be clear, none of this money goes to him. He is volunteering his amazing services to this endeavor because he believes in it and what we're able to do for the students. We are putting Ole Miss on the map in new and exciting ways. Help these students to gain these experiences. Help me help them. Music is more than an experience. Music is a way of life. And we are thrilled that you are part of the music research revolution. Woo!